Well, the Polish people appear to be fed up with globalist policies, fed up with NATO, fed up with the Ukrainianization of Poland, and they voted overwhelmingly, yes, a record number of votes for the newest member of the European Member of Parliament, and that man is Grzegorz Braun. Now, you might remember, made international headlines when he grabbed a fire extinguisher and he blew out a menorah that was set ablaze, and of course, international headlines about this. And wow, you would have thought, wow, maybe there's a backlash against him. No, the Polish people said, we want this guy. We voted overwhelmingly to put this guy as the European Member of Parliament in Poland. And Gregory is kind enough to join us today on the show on the heels of his big victory in Poland. Nice to see you, Gregory. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Now, I should point out, I'm using the Western pronunciation of your first name. So to my Polish viewers, I apologize, but I tried for like 10 minutes.
For your Polish viewers, my name is Grzegorz Braun.
I said, I'm going to, and you said, you were kind enough to say, just say Gregory. It's the Gregory. So Gregory, welcome to the show. So the dust is now settled. You've had some time to maybe take in these numbers, but just looking over this, it's pretty remarkable. Let's see, 115,000 votes in this district. That is a record. So to all of the people who called you a far-right Polish politician who doused the Hanukkah candles, can't believe that this anti-Semitic member of the Polish government would be elected. What do you say to those individuals?
Well, the result is not bad. In Poland, it happens to be the best between my party's candidates' results. As to so-called anti-Semitism, I would prefer to call it Judeo-realism in opposition to Judeo-idealism. I simply refer to facts. Facts, historical facts, political facts, theological facts, and I simply cannot accept celebrations of racist, tribal cult in the middle of our society, of our political system. That's why I reacted. And my compatriots, obviously not everybody who lives in Poland, because there are probably less and less Poles who want to remain Poles, more and more of those who would prefer to become Euro-kolkhoz citizens, but many of them take my action and take my reasons for theirs. And in the course of this election campaign, I signed probably thousands of fire extinguishers. The trick is that this was not my idea. This is not a PR product of my staff. Nobody would imagine this kind of political action. Simply, my fellow citizens, my fellow Polish people come to me and want their fire extinguishers signed by me, which I take for a very clear sign of our mutual understanding. We want Poland to be Polish, not to become some kind of Soviet or Euro-Soviet republic, not the next American state, not Polish, Ukrainian Commonwealth, which is some people's idea, crazy because totally unrealistic and based on false history. We want Poland to remain Poland, and we want our country to be a country of free and secure people. Security is the key word, because what comes to us from the East and from the West questions not only our rights to remain Polish, to remain normal people, living peacefully, earning money, having families, having children, having rights to raise our children as our fathers, our grandfathers used to. When I say grandfathers, you might think that I am the kind of politician who would like to go back to some history that never was. No, I'm very I would like to think of myself as totally devoted to future, to bright future of my nation, and this cannot be achieved without peace. And this is the question, the problem number one, to preserve peace in Central Europe, in the world, because we were used several times. We were used as a bumper by the empires, not only in the 20th, but in the 90th and previous centuries. We were used as some kind of trigger to be used to start the revolution and World War. And this is the case of 1939, obviously, when we were pushed to the front, to the first line, front line of that World War by the British, by Americans. Obviously, these were war criminals, comrades Hitler and Stalin, who divided Poland, who destroyed our state. But the inspiration was from London, and let's say authorization was from Washington. And we have documents, we have, some other time you might want to hear more about historical facts. For now, I politically, I stress, I don't want any repetitions of this history. I don't want my nation to be used as a trigger of some revolution, some new world order revolution, which will not prevail without starting World War III on our territory.
Well, and it seems that you're maybe one of a few voices who is standing up for peace, because it appears that the world is marching towards World War III, and even your politicians, your leaders in Poland, are saying we need to prepare troops going into Ukraine, troops to march against Russia. If Russia makes any further headway in the east, then we need to be prepared to send troops into Ukraine. It appears the Polish people don't want that. It appears the Polish people are saying enough is enough, but they don't appear to be listening to the Polish people. You have massive NATO bases in Poland. Poland appears to be used right now as sort of a NATO staging ground for World War III, and you're looking to stop that.
Unfortunately, this is the case here. Polish people simply do not realize what the war might bring upon us, and their lead is totally treacherous. It's totally taken over by different ambassadors who actually rule the country. And this is very funny because they tend to interfere in sometimes very stupid questions like media, like propaganda. They obviously they like to teach us democracy. Well, yeah. You said about war preparations. I want to stress I would be the first to call to arms. I would be the first to call for raising our army's abilities, producing and buying weapons that we need to preserve peace here. But I would be the first to say no to sending Polish troops abroad. And this is the problem here, because I used to be a member of the same Polish Parliament Committee for Army and Defense purposes. Well, they expelled me after the December Hanukkah, let's say, situation. So they expelled me from the committee. But my interest in defense and national security is genuine, right. And I would like to serve my country, my nation, by giving all the best I could as a politician to my soldiers, to my army. The problem is that this army is not shaped to, currently, it is not shaped to defend our national security. It is shaped to play the role of, I tend to repeat myself, of a trigger. You would probably find several more words that would point out this problem. I understand that Washington, London, they obviously don't want to send their troops right. further east. They want to use us as they use Ukrainians. Remember, 500,000 of Ukrainian people, soldiers, mostly soldiers, died. You might add millions of those who escaped, of those who did everything not to join the army, and they are simply running out of resources. They are running out of people, and they are looking at Polish meat as like useful prey, as a very handy replacement. And this is what I would like to oppose. I signed an appeal for peace already in 2022 in summer. I was obviously, you might imagine, called Russian agent and traitor by the mainstream media, but there is life outside the mainstream media, and my campaign for the European Parliament is a proof, because I had I'm very proud of it. I had exactly my airing time, television, radio, all put together. My time was exactly 0 minutes, wow. 0 seconds on air. Wow. In the mainstream media. I was never asked for any interviews. I was only sometimes quoted to depict my dark silhouette as a bad guy, probably the worst. And this is the best result of this election is the proof that there is life outside mainstream.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's like the independent media. We hear from our Polish viewers all the time that they say it's so sad that they can't get information inside of Poland about what's happening in Poland. They have to turn to alternative sources like our show or, you know, other sources. And it's unbelievable. So you had zero airtime on the mainstream media, but that speaks that speaks to the intelligence of the Polish people. They're done being brainwashed by the mainstream media there, right?
What we are facing here is that great anti-Polish, anti-European, anti-human coalition that I could describe it as COVID, Euro Kolhoz, War Hanukkah coalition. And this is left to right, right to left. Everybody agrees. They are fighting each other very, very intensely sometimes, but in these crucial points, crucial matters, there is no difference. There is no difference between the left from the left and the left from the right.
Right. Well, it's the same thing in the United States. You know, it's the same thing in the United States. We have more things in common. And we don't want illegal immigration. We don't want our borders flooded from people from other countries. We don't want war. And yet the politicians appear to be ignoring them. So I want to ask you about the Ukrainian...
So maybe the element that you miss is the counter-coalition, let's call it the fire extinguisher coalition. The really wide coalition of good, decent, peaceful people who just want to work and prosper. That's what I would recommend. Firemen of all nations, unite.
Yeah, the fire extinguishers, they're going to be selling out of those all across the United States if that movement takes off. And
I'm not selling anything. I'm not selling anything. This was not my stuff. This is my people coming to me with their fire extinguishers.
I love that. It's totally organic. I love that. I want to ask you, I'll get you out of here in a second, Gregory, but I want to ask you about the Stop Ukrainianization of Poland. We covered this a couple of months ago here on the show. This movement to stop what exactly? I mean, we saw millions of Ukrainian refugees coming across the border. We've seen the child trafficking problems at the border between Poland and Ukraine. We've seen all sorts of issues. Obviously, as other individuals in Poland to talk about, walking down different cities in Poland, you can't even hear the Polish language anymore. You'll hear the Ukrainian language. So why did you decide to push this Stop Ukrainianization of Poland? And it seems like the Polish people are with you on this.
Well, I hope more and more people understand what I wanted to say 2 years ago, starting this campaign with publication of some statements, some political program. I just predicted the results. I just, with all my compassion and understanding of how miserable the situation of war victims is, I have, as a Polish politician, I have to say always Poland first. Poland first, Polish people first, and I'm not. This is what I try to explain to my fellow citizens. You're not becoming some bad guy, bad Christian, treacherous Polish when you say Poland first. Polish children first, and we spend billions of our money to let's say to conservate, to preserve this social revolution, social revolution in Poland, and this is what I oppose. I'm not acting, and I'm not proposing anything based on some kind of resentment of some bad feelings. I try not to let bad feelings overwhelm my existence. I simply cannot agree for spending Polish money for non-Polish purposes. This is easy. This is easy to understand. This should be easy.
Right.
But the government and the parliament and the president of Poland, they seem to be preoccupied with making everybody around happy with our money. I communicate with my voters, with my fellow citizens, just bringing that agenda, these facts up. I'm telling to Polish people, do you know how many apartments you funded for the Ukrainian people in Poland last year? And they say no, and then I bring up numbers, and this is shocking. This is shocking. Not talking about ammunition, tanks, aeroplanes that we sent to Ukraine. Polish police could not exercise at shooting ranges properly because the ammunition was sent to Ukraine. Polish army volunteers could not exercise with proper guns. They exercised, this is for real. Some units used to exercise with sticks. Because the guns went to
Ukraine.
This is what I oppose, because I am for security, national security. I am for the army to be the best army of the continent of the world, because Polish soldiers are and can be great. They only have lousy commanders and treacherous politicians using them as tokens, as pawns at this great chess board that late Mr. Brzezinski described years ago, and I don't accept the position of some kind of pawn. I don't want to be a token in some British or Russian casino. I don't want to be played. I want to be a partner, but to be a partner, I have to be totally devoted to my country's and my nation's real interests.
Well, there is a wave that has come to Europe, and I think it's riding on that similar sentiment. Put our country first, put Germany first, put the Netherlands first, put Poland first, take care of the Polish people first. We have a heart, but we need to put the Polish people first. We need to not be funding apartments for refugees or illegal immigrants like in the United States. We have Americans sleeping on the streets, but illegal immigrants come across the border and they're given 3 meals and a free hotel room. It's unbelievable. Gregory, congratulations on your victory.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on all the fire extinguisher sales that all across the country, hopefully all across the world. We can use this as a metaphor to put out the craziness right now. Gregory, congratulations.
I like the fire extinguisher. I used to be a film director, mostly documentary film director. So a part of myself is kind of, I still have some artistic interests and sentiments. So what I like about the fire extinguisher is that it's not heavy, it's not pompous, it's even funny,
Right.
It does not offer danger. It offers peace.
Yeah, peace, and it puts out fires. That's what we want right now. I know. It's apparently not in vogue right now to be anti-war, but we are on this show, and we appreciate your anti-war stance. Hopefully, more sensible people like you will take power in Poland. Gregory, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on your victory, and all the best. Thank you so much.
God bless.